Theoretically, free trade sounds like a great idea. Consumers get the benefit of increased competition for their buying dollars. Manufacturers get to locate or source from the lowest cost labor pool. And exporters have the opportunity to sell into new markets with no tariffs. Unfortunately, there are fundamental real-world flaws that exist with free trade that have led to the most massive wealth transfer in the history of the world. The United States has not witnessed a trade surplus since 1975. Since then, $4 trillion has been lost through trade deficits caused by elimination of tariffs. The most significant flaw with free trade agreements is that they are impossible to enforce, making competition impossible. Free trade depends on the premise that all countries will play by the same rules. However, in the real world, assuring that this occurs is incredibly expensive, time-consuming, and inefficient to contest. The reality is tariffs are not the only barrier to free trade. Trade is impacted by more intangible, state-sponsored trade weapons. These include currency manipulation, technology transfer requirements, joint venture policies, selective customs policies, underhanded government subsidies, and countless other tools. Under free trade agreements, the U.S. essentially relies on faith-based economic policy with other countries. Without the presence of tariffs, a free trade agreement places the country with lower overall wage rates in a superior position. When two countries with huge differences in labor costs engage in free trade, eventually all the production that benefits the country with higher wage rates will be transferred to the country with lower wage rates. The transfer is supposed to be offset with lower prices being enjoyed by the outsourcing country. But in the long run, it leads to the destruction of the manufacturing capabilities of the more developed country and a wider spread in income among its citizens. This is exactly what has happened to the United States. We're going to leave off there for now. Be sure not to miss part 2 of our seminar on why free trade is an ideal that does not work.